The most important thing about being a good leader is treat everybody with kindness and respect, and to listen to people. People want to be heard. And if people feel you're hearing them and you care about their ideas, they're more likely to want to work with you and be your teammate. And a lot of being a good leader really is just figuring out how you can get a team to work together. It's hard to do great things just by yourself. It's better when you're working with others.
Leadership is an art. So it's not like today you learn this, you do it tomorrow. It happens. It's not like a magic trick, right? It's a process. It's a process of earning trust, being the role model where you walk the talk of balancing between result and relationship, making decisions. So people say, okay, these are not words. This is who he is. This is who she is.
I hear this all the time. It's like, well, I didn't get to choose this team. I inherited this team. So it's not my fault if they do badly. Well, you didn't get to choose your kids. You inherited those. They just showed up. Those are your kids. But you love them anyway. And a team is the same way. It doesn't matter if you picked your own team. You show up and love your team and work tirelessly to see that each of those members of the team can work to their natural best. And it's one of the hard things about being a leader. We have to take the risk to rush towards the danger, to protect our teams and to trust them when others won't.
Doing the right thing is contagious. Being calm is contagious. Being bold is contagious. Being vulnerable is contagious. Asking for help is contagious. Being difficult, sticking to what you think is the right thing even when people are questioning it, that's contagious. And this is what ultimately our job as leaders is, to inspire. We lead by example, as they say. You don't just demand that your company's culture have this thing. You can't just demand that your children do these things. You can't just demand this kind of change from your industry. You have to model it.
Leadership is a skill like any other. It is a practicable, learnable skill. And it is something that you work on. It's like a muscle. If you practice it all the days, you will get good at it and you will become a strong leader. If you stop practicing, you will become a weak leader. Like parenting, everyone has the capacity to be a parent. Doesn't mean everybody wants to be a parent, and doesn't mean everybody should be a parent. Leadership is the same. We all have the capacity to be a leader. Doesn't mean everybody should be a leader, and it doesn't mean everybody wants to be a leader. And the reason is because it comes at great personal sacrifice.
Here's the secret of making it a great year. Every day, serve someone. Every day. Every day add value to people. Every day serve one. Every day live the intentional life of doing for others, sometimes what they cannot do for themselves. And if you will put people first and add value to them and serve them, it becomes absolutely amazing what you and I are going to have and achieve, how we're going to help people, and in return, how it comes back to us. Benjamin Franklin said this: "No one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of someone else." If you're helping someone else lift a load in your life, you become a very useful person. Mahatma Gandhi said that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
I once worked with a school district in California that was having a super hard time retaining its janitorial staff. It seemed like every other month, the administrator would have to hire another janitor, vet them, equip them, invest in training them, and then out the door. They were back to square one trying to hire another janitor. But then one day, at one specific school, the principal did something completely new and different. She went around to all of the different classes and asked the kids to write a letter. And in the letter, she wanted them to thank the janitor for what he did for them every day in school. I'm telling you, letter after letter, the things these kids said. Thank you for making sure I don't get sick. It's so nice when you put out the cones and I don't fall and get hurt. I like your beard and you always make me laugh. Overnight, these letters put that janitor into a story that was so much bigger than, hey, I'm the guy who cleans up after kids in an institutional building. As a leader, you have that same power. You can take each of your employees and make them the hero of a better story.
I don't think leaders take enough time to really evaluate the wants and needs of their people. I would challenge every leader to think of 2 rock star employees in your organization. Who are the 2 people that if they left tomorrow, it would put you in a hard spot? Create a moment with those 2 individuals, sit down with them, start with vocal praise. Let that employee know how much they mean to you, how much they've done in the organization, why they are an intricate part of your vision, and then ask them these 3 questions. What can I do to keep you here? What is getting in the way of your success at work? And what can I do to help you get there? So simple, but yet 99.9% of all employees in the workforce are never asked those 3 questions. And the times when they are asked those questions is usually in the exit interview. And then it dawns on the HR director or the manager that I should have asked these questions 6 months ago.
Leadership is no longer an entitlement. It used to be that it would come with tenure and experience. Leadership is a privilege, and with that privilege comes responsibility. And it's a responsibility to bring happy, healthy environments for our people to thrive in and to bring their best of their strengths to the workplace and really help the organization succeed.
The real job of a leader is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in our charge. When we're junior, our only responsibility is to be good at our jobs. That's all we really have to do. And if you're good at your job, they'll promote you. And at some point, you'll get promoted to a position where we're now responsible for the people who do the job we used to do, but nobody shows us how to do that. We have to go through this transition of being responsible for the job and then turning into somebody who's now responsible for the people who are responsible for the job. We all have the capacity to be a leader. Doesn't mean everybody should be a leader, and it doesn't mean everybody wants to be a leader. And the reason is because it comes at great personal sacrifice. Remember, you're not in charge, you're responsible for those in your charge.
To me, leadership starts with every CEO or leader understanding they're actually in the HR business, they do other things. When I say in every all hands on meeting, which is often, my inbox is open, email, we will schedule 5, 10, 15 minutes. I think a lot of leaders don't realize how much can be done in 7 minutes. We did a huge creative offsite on Monday, and I'm making such detailed, nuanced reference points in the meeting, and a lot of the creatives had never worked with me, and they were just baffled by why I knew that. And a couple of them had the courage to come up to me during breaks and why do you even know, how do you know that? Because I talked to the people that work here.
Leadership and vulnerability. Why is that such an important theme for leaders to understand?
It's a balance. Vulnerability shouldn't be seen as weakness. Higher than vulnerability for me is authenticity. If you're just a tough person, then don't pretend to be vulnerable. Don't sort of create a sense of vulnerability because people will see right through it. But be who you are. Learn to live in your own skin. Stop trying to get into someone else's skin because it's not yours.
And I believe that leadership is about what you do when no one is watching. You see, anyone can be ethical when you have an audience. Anyone can be an A player when you're in front of your customers. Anyone can radiate positive energy when all eyes are on you. Anyone can look brave, loving, decent, fast, productive when there's ego payoffs. My question to every single one of you here in this room is, how graceful under pressure, how ethical are you, how fast are you, how brave are you, how excellent are you when you are the only person in the room?
I think you're a bad leader if you think you're a leader just because you have a certain talent. Doesn't mean you're a good leader.
Bro.
So I'm struggling with this idea of leadership. It also kind of moves into this idea of masculinity. And obviously, leaders are both men and women, but there's this idea of strong leadership because I'm just in your face and I got vision, or I'm you're not a good leader if you just can come up with a vision. You're a good leader if you can lead people towards that vision, right? And so the radical middle part for me and the conversation we need to have around leadership is what do we actually believe about leadership, and how can we be better leaders in changing the system that Christianity in the United States is built on, so that we can see this next generation actually be reached for Jesus.
A lot of leaders that we've worked with have this kind of resistance to mentorship. They worry that if they take their eye off the profit side of the business and put that focus on their people instead, that the profit will suddenly just evaporate and they won't have a successful business anymore. But here's what's wrong with that line of thinking. Money isn't your product. So putting all of your focus on profit is going to take your attention off what your business is really there to deliver. And that is what's going to hurt your bottom line the most. So today's weekly tip is to start seeing the connection between the level of investment you make in your people and the level of investment they are going to make in your product. By becoming more people-driven and less entity-driven, you will inspire a better culture of performance. When you have an empowered workforce, productivity will always rise.